the wonderful Maya Hawke and her second studio record, Moss. We have covered 2 singles, because one single was released this week.
2.
We've liked them both. We loved Therese.
Hmm.
Do we love the rest of the record?
Hmm.
Stay tuned. It's going to be a 15-minute video or a whole podcast. I mean, free entertainment.
How are we
just
going to
carry
do
on
this,
listening.
Carl? What do we normally do in these scenarios?
Go on.
We go through track by
Yeah.
track.
There
Yanni
we go.
normally puts his.
I've never
Yanni
seen him so
normally
lost.
puts his.
Such a simple question. We're going to listen to each song backwards.
I got confused because we've just done it.
Yeah. It's normally me.
Yanni's going to put his points forward, and me and Liam are going to agree with him.
Yeah, brilliant.
For the next
Comical
15
mirrors
minutes.
references.
Yeah. Of course, we like to keep it
Oh.
lighthearted on this pod. Queen's dead. The first song is Backup Plan. Beautiful opener. I mean,
Oh, isn't it
this
just?
word I've used here, beautiful. It's going to be said a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, the word vocals and beautiful are going to be used quite a lot together. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my comment on Backup Plan.
Fantastic. I will read this word for word. Beautiful
Verbatim.
opener. Beautiful opener. I've also used the word beautiful numerous times. I specifically I've put here a lyric that I was supposed to check what the lyric actually is.
No, just do it. Just do it. Just say it.
Let me be the one you
bit.
thought you were missing, or something like that. It's like a hook.
Yeah, that's.
That
something like
Pretty
is,
hooky to me, man.
and I thought that was a lovely.
I want to be everything
concept.
you've lost that you might be looking for.
That's the one. Thank you, Liam.
So not
so
right.
similar, so similar. But the
Say something.
thought behind it is similar. But that is, I loved that as a premise of a lyric. I thought it was beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah, I thought the lyrics were beautiful too, to be honest. And yeah, the way she sings that hook is very nice. The music.
That is what we
Music.
review, mate. Yeah.
The instrumentation is also very nice. Very kind of straightforward. So it's a nice, calm opener, and kicks the album off right. I think.
Moving on to
What was funny about
because
that?
I'm sure we said kicked off before. I don't know. Oh, I'm losing
Like a
my mind here.
footballer.
Bloomed into Blue is the name of the next track. I have put another beautiful song. However, and get ready. There's nothing's perfect in this world. Maybe a little repetitive. I put upon listening first time.
Well,
But doesn't deduct too much from it.
is repetitiveness a gripe that will continue throughout the record? Stay tuned to find out.
Oh.
Um,
Oh gosh.
Bloomed into Blue as a track I thought was lovely yet again. I just put what a voice. In-depth analysis.
I'll say beautiful voice. No, I really like the vocal melody is very nice in this. That kind of repeating vocal melody, but is it repeated a bit too much? Probably. The guitar's very nice in this, and it's a kind of a low synth as well that comes in throughout. And I think that's quite a nice, interesting bit of music, bit of sound in my ears. And yeah, I think it's an alright song. And I feel like I know how the rest of this Spotlight's going to go, but let's just carry on.
Hiatus is the name of the next track. This I liked the guitars
Is it
and the
beautiful?
vocals worked very well together. They followed very similar rhythms, which was very pleasant. Yeah, that's all I've got to say on Hiatus.
I thought Maya sounded like Ellie from Wolf Alice in this one. Just Americanized.
Take back what I said. I hate this song.
The harmonies with the male vocals in the background were lovely, and I like the lyric, I know you bleed glitter and a heart of stone. Something along them lines. Again, I didn't fact check, but
That's spot on.
thank you. But it's just lovely,
Is it
innit?
my turn?
It's just a lovely
It is.
soundscape.
It is lovely. This one reminds me a little bit of like some Big Thief stuff, or Adrian Lenker and Buckmeek's solo stuff a little bit. Obviously with two
I'm very sorry.
sets of vocals and just musically as well. I think the chorus is very nice. The chorus melody is very, very pretty. And that's about all new original information I have to say about this.
Lovely stuff. Moving on, Sweet Tooth. This is one of the singles that we covered.
Yep.
I'm right. When we covered this, I said I thought this was a bit cringe, if I remember correctly, lyrically.
You did.
However, it has grown on me since we've covered it, and I think in terms of pace, it helped that it's at this point in the album. There are some new words.
In the words of
Oh.
Katy Perry on her hit advert, Just Eat, ding dong,
No.
Yanni. Ding dong.
She mentioned my name.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the inclusion of a semi, not just mine,
Yeah.
upbeat
I
one,
agree.
Hello.
Yeah.
was very welcome at this point in the album. I like it more now. Yeah, it's good. It's very, very good. I take away one very. It's very good.
I agree. I agree, guys. I don't know what to say. I like that it's a bit faster and it's a welcome change at this point. And
It's always a struggle because you go last, mate. But don't feel obliged to have to add stuff if you've got nothing. Just say
yeah, thanks.
the magic word
Mirrors.
mirrors.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There we go.
Whoa.
Next up, or just do that actually. That might be funnier.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the next one. Crazy Kid, which this one has a feature.
Oh.
Will Grafe? Grafe?
I'd have gone with that.
Yeah. Am I locking that in?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Lock it in, boy.
Did I mention it was called Crazy Kid? I can't remember. I'm going crazy myself. Crazy Kid featuring Will Grafe. Solid track again. The harmonies on this are lovely. And that's the harmony she does with herself with background vocals, but also the male voice lends very well to this track.
It does. And there was call and response that happened more and more frequently as the song went on. And I think that worked really well. However, I was sad with having less Maya. That was sad. I felt shortchanged.
Yeah, I honestly wasn't sure about having someone else on. It didn't seem as much with the other one we talked about was a Hiatus that also had the male singer in. I've lost track already. But on this song, it just seemed like I just wanted more Maya. But yeah, I mean, pleasant
Get in
track.
line.
I think the outro to this song is stunning. The beautiful
Oh,
outro.
that's a new word. Synonym.
It is.
Yeah, that's a new one. We're scraping the barrel here.
Thesaurus.com.
The best way to write lyrics. Luna Moth is the name of the next track. I've just put nice. This was like one that was released a couple of days before the album came out, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. I don't really have much more to add, to be honest.
No, I think this
Passable.
was my least standout so far. Surprised that this was the third single. Got nothing against it, but I just don't think it did anything that the others didn't do slightly better.
I think this is the kind of the. It's so slow that it reminds me of something like Phoebe Bridgers or something like that, and I think it worked really, really well. I think it's a strange single and it's a strange kind of one to say it stands out, but I definitely think it's one that's kind of understated, and potentially by that, in the future will be undervalued.
Oh wow!
But I really do think, to me, this one did stand out, even though it was slower and more understated.
Wow.
Wow. Speaking of songs, next one we're covering is South Elroy. I enjoyed this one again, in particular, to narrow things down about my enjoyment. The ending of this was very pleasant upon my ear holes, receiving the audio. The sort of repeated, oh my god, I got to slow down somehow, and it's sort of echoing, and there was like distorted echoes as well. Just perfect, well
Wow.
produced.
Perfect.
Almost perfect.
She
Sorry,
is.
we'll get into perfect in a minute.
Yeah, we will. I thought this was wonderful. The happiest sounding melody. I did a bit of a Boris Johnson stutter there. Don't know what happened then. I'm getting all flustered around my Hawke.
Them's the
Um,
breaks.
It was another welcome change, not reminiscent of Sweet Tooth when that came. I feel like I needed it at this point. Kept me going.
I agree with that, and it's quite crazy that Sweet Tooth was only 3 songs before this one, which maybe speaks to something there. But yeah, I really like this one. I think it's a very well just crafted song. I think it's, as a song, is possibly one of the best so far.
Crafted well.
I feel like some of them so far have just kind of not really felt like a full song. They just felt like the same kind of repeated parts, whereas this one...
That's an interesting
solid.
comment to make. Yeah, you're very right. In retrospect, yeah.
I am. To be honest, yeah, I am.
Moving on to what can only be described as perfection. The song is Therese. If a song is measured in how few words can be said of it, then I am silent.
I also put in my notes, no words will do this track justice. It is, as Yanni poignantly said, perfection.
Well, as Justin Timberlake once said, oh.
Beautiful. Moving on.
If you've not
That
heard
went down our
Therese
way.
by My Hawke, go and listen to Therese by My Hawke.
Yeah, one of the best songs of the year, for sure.
For sure. Moving on. Sticky Little Words. This is a surprising favourite of mine from the album. The melody following the guitar line was very nice. But yeah, this one, I think it was because it was after Therese, which I thought was peak. Peak! And then this came on, and I thought, wow,
And
did
said
not
I haven't
expect
even begun to peak.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't think I'd find another song that could almost reach those heights, and this one almost did for me, apparently.
I struggle with the opposite of what you have just said. That because it comes after Therese, I've not gelled with it. However, I will listen to it in isolation because I don't dislike it. I just feel like the heights aren't met. Same with the next track as well. I'll just speak about that now because I just put
Callum.
lovely track for both of these. Vocals are beautiful. So I think I kind of like on both my listens through, and yes, sometimes we only listen to albums twice. Random YouTube commenter who slagged Liam off.
Fucker.
I sometimes only listen to the one.
Yeah, I only listened to the Alex G one once.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
sluts.
Ah.
I listened
All
to all
lovely.
of these multiple times, god damn it.
All
actually do.
lovely. I will redeem myself on the last 2 tracks.
Okay.
It's my own fault for having to listen to them so many times because I don't make notes, so I need to be able to just kind of recall points. So that's my own issue. Sticky Little Words is the song we were talking about, wasn't it?
It was, mate,
yeah. I'm on one of your camps here regarding the placement of this after Therese. And I will announce here and now, which side will you be on, Yanni? Yanni's side. On Yanni's camp. I think give it away. Is that this? Yeah, I was expecting a lull after Therese, and this wasn't that. Thought the strings and stuff was a very nice addition into the album. Not something I picked up on before this, apart from maybe like kind of plucked strings. And I agree with the vocals with the guitar. Very kind of arresting. Very arresting. I'll finish my sentence on that one. Full stop.
What about Over? We need to talk about that now, Liam, because Carl's already on a
I
spiel
haven't had a chance
about
to
it.
listen to it yet because usually we go in a little loop.
Oh, right. Well, I'll just...
But I honestly, even listening through it now, I don't really remember this one. So I'm going to say probably
the
not.
next... well, Over and Restless Moon, unfortunately, I'm the same on. I like them, but they don't stick with me. But they work in the context of the album. It's, they're passable.
Oh, Restless Moon, actually, I remember when listening, is actually the one where my comparison to Big Thief or Adrian Lincoln and Book Me came from. Remind me quite a lot of their solo stuff. And I think it's very nice but yeah, it just at this point it's been too much of sort of a similar thing that maybe I'll revisit this particular song in the future and it'll be a standout, but gets washed away a little bit.
That's what I felt with Over. Are we on Restless Moon now?
Yeah, go on.
The harmonies in this one were yet again lovely, and I loved the delivery. Whoa. I loved the delivery of the line "choke on the moon in your mouth," which I think is the lyric. Again, I haven't fact checked, but I don't know why I liked it. I don't know what about it I liked. I think it was that it was a what's the phrase, like a perfect ending? Is it like a perfect coda? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Sure,
we all did music.
It perfect ending. What do you mean? A coda just means ending.
All right, fucking hell. Trying to be professional here, Liam. It just sounded complete, and it was nice. Fucking
hell. We're up to Driver now, aren't we? I'm so lost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Driver. I've used the word at the start of the album, and spoilers for the next one. I'm going to use it for what should have been the closer of the album. This song, Driver, is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I mean that so strongly. The solo at the end of this song was fantastic.
Do we know? Sorry to
Loved it.
interrupt. Did Maya do all the guitar for this album?
No, she didn't do
Did
any of
anyone
them.
thought to look at credit?
She didn't do any of the guitar, I don't believe.
Well, we should maybe find out.
There's a right to credit Christian Lee Hudson for some of them, and then some of them it's Will Grafe. So yeah, but
okay.
from videos I've seen, it's been other people playing the instruments and she sang. But enough of that. What do you boys think of Driver? I
think this is beautiful too, Yanni. You can really imagine it, and I think the lyrics are lovely.
I don't have to imagine it, mate. I'm listening to it.
No, imagine the premise of the lyrics, but they are a little bit weird. Like I understand the premise of them. I understand her wanting her parents to be happy and to be together, and that she can watch that in a film and things. But it was the just I don't know.
Be the perfect driver.
That yeah, basically, I wouldn't want to watch my mum and dad neck on, if I'm being completely honest.
She does say necking.
She does say necking. That did confuse me. It's not American, that.
I see it as a very honest and kind of like real representation of her parent, I suppose. And I suppose that's a nice thing, seeing your parents be that in love. It's such a
yeah.
I mean, we do know a lot about her parents' and their marriage. You can pull up a Wikipedia page and tell you every single thing about how long they've been married, how many kids they have. But it's nice to see it from. It's nice to see her talk about people that the public are very aware of.
But not in the image of the public.
It feels so personal. Yeah, it feels so kind of like only from her eyes and stuff. And I also think this song is absolutely beautiful. I think this is, apart from obviously Therese, this is my favourite song from the album, and they should have closed the album, and I think that's a crazy, crazy mistake.
Yeah. Last song, unfortunately, it's in that order, is Mermaid Ball. I enjoyed this. Upon us talking about this, I'm just going to come out and say it, that I feel like Over and Restless Moon should be wiped from the album. Mermaid Bar should be after Sticky Little Words, and then it should close with Driver, because it lingers on Over and Restless Moon. They're just passable songs. I don't feel like they add much to it. But Mermaid Bar does add something to the album. It's just in the wrong place, unfortunately.
Yeah, I really like the background O's in the chorus. I'm not going to do it now.
Oh!
I feel a little bit raspy, so I won't do it justice. Not that I would anyway if I was on peak form. And I liked the frantic melody because it felt considered rather than feeling rushed, despite it being rushed, which I really liked. I thought it was a lovely ending to a beautiful record. However, in hindsight, I do think Driver probably should have closed it.
Definitely. There's no probably about it, mate. Come on, get with the
there's no question. I think Maya probably, if you asked her, I'm sure she'd agree.
But yeah, I
Everyone.
like this record a lot.
Mermaid Ball, again, I think it's a very pleasant song. I also enjoy that vocals, and I think it's spot on, Carl, that it does seem very considered, that kind of frantic vocal melody. And I feel like this song, I think this album, she does a great job of mixing up vocal melodies and stuff throughout the songs. None of it feels repetitive in any way. Some of it does, yeah, don't get me wrong. But throughout the album, there's a lot of change. And I think you're right as well, Yanni, this song definitely brings something to the album. It feels like it kind of introduces a lot of different sounds and stuff, and the guitar sounds and stuff that's not picked up on the rest, picked up on the rest of the album. But it kind of puts it lower for me because it's last, and I know it shouldn't be last.
Yeah.
And like after Driver, I don't need to hear another song. So yeah, you spot on. It should have been higher. But yeah, it still is a pretty solid closer. If Driver didn't exist, this would have been a fine closer.
Yeah.
But it does.
But drivers do exist, don't they?
They do.
They do. We must now
baby
rate
drivers.
it. I need a confirmation of that. We must now rate it as we normally do. Callum, please, I implore you to tell me what you rate this.
I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10.
Mr. Godschlong himself.
Liam Gottschalk. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10.
Fuck.
Which actually was higher than I think I was gonna give going into it, but
Well,
feels right now.
this might surprise you both. I've given this a 9.
What?
Whoa.
I wasn't expecting that. You really think it's worth a 9? I totally do not. Think it's worth a 9.
That was after finishing it, and I just thought, no, it's an 8. I'm gonna. That was what I put
You
down
don't have to
here.
change.
No, but I am in retrospect. I've changed
Okay.
my Alex G one from a 6 to a 7. So, Maya is going down to an 8.
Sorry, Maya.
Sorry,
Here's
but
what you get.
Honestly,
it
this
is the two
album-
things. It's
Go
the
on.
two things. It is the fact that Over and Restless are on this album, which I feel like don't need to be. They don't bring anything new. There's a song or two that already sounds in the same vein. And then Driver and Mermaid Ball being in the order they are, as a whole album, really lets it down. The fact that it's in that order. If it was Over and Restless were gone and Mermaid Ball was before Driver, I'd have no problem giving this a 9. Maybe higher. Nah, probably not higher. A 9. But
Yeah.
it's not like that, unfortunately, because the decision has been made by, the people that be. So it's an 8 for me.
I was quite. I'll be honest with you. I was quite disappointed when I first listened to this album, and I did listen to it last of all the new album. And maybe it was
Same.
to do with attention span, but I just found it boring and repetitive.
I feel
Now, on
like
further listens and upon a deep dive, I can definitely pick out on key moments and key points. But in general, it's a bit too long and a bit too much of the same thing that I just don't love it as a full body of work.
I think that's the problem with an album that sounds like this, is it can either heavily go into boring territory or for me it was just I wasn't just concentrating on that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I was also playing a video game again, because that seems to be what I'm doing these last weeks, and it sort of soundtracked that very nicely. But yeah, in retrospect, it's gone a bit much. But anyway,
I would say it's a lot more
Okay.
cohesive than her first album, which I enjoyed as well. But definitely felt like it was a first album. But it goes a bit to the wrong way, I think, is kind of like. I mean, I still give it a 7. That's a pretty good score.
Yeah, that's been my Hawke's album Moss. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this as a single video, then enjoy that.